the Standing Committee on Budget scheduled for Wednesday, the 11th of June, where we will be considering and adopting a draft committee report on the Western Cape Appropriation Bill before 2025. Just in terms of apologies, we have not received any apologies for today's meeting, and I would just like to confirm with Mr. Davids if we are quorated. Mr. Davids? Can you hear me?
Yes, Chair, we can hear you.
Thank you, Member Vessels. Lizette, Ms. Kluter, I saw your hand.
Apologies. Good morning, Chairperson. I just wanted to say we have quorum. We might continue.
Thank you so much. Members, we will be considering a draft committee report on the Western Cape Appropriation Bill. I just want to check with Mr. Davids if he is ready for us.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honourable members. Yes, Chair, I'm ready for you. Chair, do you want me to flight the various committee reports just for noting by the Budget Committee?
Yes, please, Mr. Davids. We will now just briefly move through the different respective votes, and I will just indicate what the outcomes of each of the votes were. If we can start with the first one, if you can just flight it for us, please.
Chair, can you see the report, Chair?
Yes, thank you. So the members, the first vote, which was the Standing Committee on Premier and Constitutional Matters, referred to the Standing Committee and the reports that it supports the vote, and that the African National Congress and Good express its minority view to not support the vote. Moving on to the second vote.
Can you see the second vote, Chair?
I can, thank you. The second vote, Provincial Parliament, was referred to the committee, and it reports that it supports the vote. The African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote. The third vote, which is Provincial Treasury, referred to the committee that it supports the vote. And in terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Al Jamaa expressed their minority view to not support the vote. The fourth vote is the Standing Committee on Police Oversight, Community Safety, Cultural Affairs and Sport, referred to the Standing Committee and reports that it supports the vote. And the Economic Freedom Fighters and African National Congress expressed their minority view to not support the vote. Moving on to the fifth vote, which is the education vote, referred to the Standing Committee and reports that it supports the vote, and that the African National Congress expressed its minority view to not support the vote. The sixth vote, Health and Wellness, referred to the Standing Committee and reports that it supports the vote. Moving on to vote 7 is the Social Development, reports that in terms of Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote, and in terms of minority view, the African National Congress and Economic Freedom Fighters expressed their minority view to not support the vote. Moving on to vote 8, Mobility, referred to the committee and reports that it supports the vote. And in terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and the Good Party expressed their minority view to not support the vote. Moving on to vote 9, the Standing Committee on Local Government, Environmental Affairs and Development Planning. Just want to double check here. Referred to the Standing Committee, in terms of Standing Rule 188, reports that it supports the vote. Vote 10, Infrastructure, referred to the committee and reports that it supports the vote. In terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Good expressed their minority view to not support this vote. Vote 11, the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Economic Development and Tourism referred to the committee and reports that it supports the vote. And in terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Al Jamaa expressed their minority view to not support the vote. Vote 12, the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Economic Development and Tourism reports that it supports the vote. And in terms of Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Al Jamaa expressed their minority view to not support the vote. Vote 13, report of the Standing Committee on Police Oversight, Community Safety, Cultural Affairs and Sport reports that it supports the vote, and in accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Economic Freedom Fighters expressed their minority view to not support the vote. Vote 14, local government, referred to the Standing Committee and reports that it supports the vote, and in accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress expressed their minority view that they do not support the vote. Yeah.
Chairperson, that's all of our
Yes.
all of the reports for noting, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davids. Just need to open this on my screen. Just give me a second. Members, I table the committee reports on each of the votes to you. We have indicated on the different votes which of the parties expressed a minority view, and I will now afford members the opportunity for brief deliberations or comments. Member Nkondlo.
Morning, Chair, and morning to the members. Chair, I just wanted to get advice from you that I am aware the African National Congress in the Committee on Vote 9 on Environmental and Planning, there is a matter that is sitting with the Speaker regarding the minority vote of the ANC that was not recorded in that meeting. So how would, at this level, we deal with that particular matter? Thank you.
Thank you, Member Nkondlo. Mr. David.
Chairperson, through you, thank you, Member Nkondlo, for that query. Chairperson, so that will then basically the outcome of the Speaker will then be referred to the relevant standing committee as well as the budget committee for their noting, and then if the Speaker does find that the minority view has been raised in that meeting, then the report of that committee of vote 9 must just be adjusted, Chair, and then re-ATC'd, and it will then just be for the budget committee's noting, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davids. Member Nkondlo, does that cover your question?
Yes, it does, Chair, and thank you to Mr. Davis for the response. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Member Nkondlo. Members, are there any further questions on the votes before we move over to the draft committee report? I do not see any hands. Members, we will now move over to the consideration and adoption of a draft committee report. I have tabled all the votes to you, and we will now have the opportunity to express our view on the bill. And I would like to start off by asking all those in support of the bill to please raise your hands now. All those in support of the bill, you can please just indicate so now. I see myself, Member Leon van Wyk, Member Dirk Wessels, Member Nokuma Sipa, Member French Mbombo, Member Gideon Bosman, Member Basil Petrus, and Member Wendy Kaiser Philander, as well as Member Memory Boyson.
Yeah, I'm trying to raise my hand, but I just can't.
Thank you, Member Van Minen. I think we just saw your hand come up, so thank you for that. Mr. Davids, did you capture all the members in support?
Yes, Chairperson, thank you very much for that, Chair. I have captured all of the members that's in support of the bill, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Members, you can now lower your hands. Just there we go. Members, those who do not support the bill, if you can please just raise your hands. I see Member Litakong. I see Member Nkondlo. Any other members not in support of the bill? Thank you, members Litakong and Member Nkondlo. Mr. Davids, did you capture the members not in support?
Yes, Chairperson, I have captured that, Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr. Davids. If you are ready with the draft committee report, with the Member Nkondlo. I think it was just the legacy hand. Thank you, members. If you are ready with the draft committee report, Mr. Davids, you can just flight the report for adoption.
Oh, so my apologies, Chair. I was under the impression that it's flighted. I'll just get a chair for you on the right screen. Let me just stop sharing this one, and I just want to share on. Sorry, Chair, I'm working with multiple screens here.
That's fine. Thank you, Mr. David.
Let me just do this for you, Chairperson. I just want to get the Word document for you, Chairperson. There we go. Can you see a Chair?
We can. Thank you very much. Members, the draft committee report will read as follows. The draft report of the Budget Committee on the Western Cape Appropriation Bill B4 2025, dated 11 June 2025 as follows. The Budget Committee, having considered the Western Cape Appropriation Bill B4 2025, referred to it in terms of Standing Rule 188, report as follows. Having considered the various Standing Committee reports on the votes in schedule to the bill, the committee reports that it supports the bill. And in terms of minority view, in accordance with Standing Rule 90, the African National Congress and Economic Freedom Fighters expressed its minority view to not support the bill. Members, can I ask for one of the permanent members of the Budget Committee to propose the adoption?
Dirk Wessels will propose, Chair.
Thank you, Member Wessels. And someone to second the adoption?
Nokuma Sipa, second the adoption, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Member Nokuma Sipa. That brings us to the end of the draft committee report. Thank you very much. The next point on our agenda is just the adoption of the minutes of a meeting that was held on the 3rd of June, if I remember correctly. If you can just flight the minutes for us, Mr. Davids.
Thank you, Chairperson. I'm just flighting it. Can you see a chair on your side?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Chair, can I just walk you through the minutes?
Yes,
Chair?
please.
Thank you, Chair. Chair and honourable committee members, so it was basically just a meeting that the Budget Committee had last Tuesday, the 3rd of June 2025. And all the members present has been noted in the committee in the minutes, Chairperson. There was an additional member as well in terms of Honorable R. Allen, Chairperson, that sat in the meeting, and apologies was received from Member Leta Kong as well as from Member Kasim, Chairperson. Chairperson, then basically just the Minister, Ms. Gantana, briefed the committee on the Western Cape Appropriations Bill B4 2025, Chairperson, and the committee engaged the ministers and officials on the content of the presentation, Chairperson, and there were some resolutions and actions that came from that, Chair, which will be under, this must be a 4 underneath, Chair. I will change that for you, Chair, to 4 and 4.1, 4.2, etc. Chair, then under number 3, Chairperson, is basically just the committee just adopted all of its reports, Chair. The committee minutes of 14th of May, the committee third and fourth quarterly activities report, its annual activities report, as well as its resolution tracking document, Chairperson. Chair, I will just amend this to, with your indulgence, Chair, and approval to number 4, Chair. Chair, this was basically, these were the 2 resolutions and request for information, Chair, that the committee requested. That the committee should revive the provincial money bill process that was initiated during the 6th Parliamentary Budget Committee, as well, Chairperson, the WCPP Chairperson, and more specifically, the Public Engagement Unit and the Stakeholder Management and Communications Unit Chairperson of WCPP to submit a joint report on the manner in which public participation can be enhanced to ensure maximum public stakeholder inputs for Chairperson. In terms of the various legislative processes of the Budget Committee, Chairperson. And then the meeting just adjourned at 11:30, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Davids. Members, can I have a proposer and a seconder for the adoption of the minutes?
David Wessels will propose, Chair.
Thank you, Member Wessels. And someone to second?
Noko Masipa will second. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, members. The last point on our agenda is the resolutions and actions. Mr. Davids, did you capture any resolutions or actions for today's meeting?
Chairperson, I have received no resolution. It was just the matter that was brought by Member Mkondo, Chair, and I will speak to the relevant procedural officer regarding that matter, Chair, so that we can just keep an eye on that matter, Chairperson, for further action.
Thank you, Mr. Davids. Members, any further resolutions for today's meeting? I do not see any hands at this stage. Mr. Davids, is that our business of the day?
That's the business of the day, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, members. This brings us to the end of today's meeting. This meeting is now adjourned. We'll see each other at 11 a.m. Thank you. 10 a.m. My apologies.
Thank you
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members.
for that extra hour.